3 years ago, they narrated every second of their day before you even got your shoes off. Now you get a door closing, a fine, and a Wi-Fi password change you weren't told about. This isn't your kid becoming a stranger for no reason. There are 8 specific moments happening in your house right now that are quietly teaching them you're not a safe place to land. Fix this late, and you get a 25-year-old who texts K to everything. Fix it now, and you get a kid who still picks up the phone at college. Number 1. The achievement interrogation. Your kid mentions they got a B on a test, and within 4 seconds, you're asking what happened, who else got an A, and whether the teacher offers extra credit. You think you're showing interest. You think this is what engaged parenting sounds like. Your kid hears an audit. They hear that the only safe news to bring you is good news. So the bad news quietly stops coming. Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence found that kids who feel evaluated rather than heard start filtering what they share within weeks, not years. Eventually, you get a highlight reel instead of a relationship, and you won't even notice the switch happen. The fix sounds almost too simple. Respond to "I got a B" with "How do you feel about that?" instead of "What went wrong?" Let them tell you the story before you grade the story. That single pause is the difference between a kid who debriefs their day with you and a kid who debriefs it with literally anyone else first. Speaking of anyone else, there's a second behavior just as common, and it's happening at your dinner table tonight. Number 2, the phone confiscation ambush. Mid-conversation, completely unprompted, you ask to see their phone. Maybe it's random. Maybe it's because they laughed at something and didn't show you. You frame it as safety, as your house, your rules, as a parent's right to know. Your kid experiences it as a home invasion with no warrant and no explanation. Northwestern's research on adolescent privacy found that surprise phone checks correlate with teens creating a second, hidden digital life, specifically to protect from future raids. So the surveillance you added didn't increase safety. It just moved the real conversations somewhere you can't see. The fix is building phone transparency into a rhythm instead of an ambush, like a Sunday check-in both of you already expect, with a reason attached every single time. "I want to see your group chat because I worry about bullying," lands completely differently than silently grabbing the phone off the counter. Predictable boundaries feel like love. Random raids feel like distrust wearing a parent costume. Number 3. The friend group cross-examination. They mention a new friend's name once, and suddenly you're running a background check. Who are their parents? What's their GPA? Why does their Instagram bio say that? Are they the reason your kid came home at 9:47 instead of 9:30? You're trying to protect them from bad influences. Your kid hears that every friend they like is a suspect until proven innocent. Quick reality check before we go further into the cringe. Apparently 97% of people watching this never subscribe, and that's basically you finally getting your kid to open up and then walking away mid-sentence. Don't do that here. Hit subscribe. Cambridge's adolescent social development team found that teens whose friendships get interrogated stop introducing parents to their social world altogether. Not because the friends are bad, but because the questioning itself feels like rejection. The fix is meeting the friend before meeting the file. Offer to drive them somewhere. Order pizza. Exist in the same room for 10 minutes. Curiosity delivered as warmth gets answers that curiosity delivered as cross-examination never will. Number 4. The emotional speed run. Your kid says they're sad about something, and within 90 seconds you've identified the problem, offered 3 solutions, and moved on to asking about homework. You think you're being efficient and helpful. Your kid feels like a problem getting solved instead of a person getting heard. Columbia's research on adolescent disclosure describes this exact pattern, where parents who jump to fixing shut down future disclosure faster than parents who say nothing at all. A kid who learns that sadness gets immediately converted into a to-do list learns to stop mentioning the sadness. The fix is sitting in the discomfort for longer than feels natural. Try, "That sounds really hard," and then just wait. No advice, no silver lining, no, "well, at least." Let the feeling exist in the room for a minute before you try to evict it. Teens don't always need a solution. They need proof you can handle hearing the problem without flinching. Number 5, the comparison trap. Your sister never had this issue. When I was your age, I would have just toughed it out. You think comparisons motivate. Your kid hears that their specific struggle, the one they worked up the courage to mention, just got measured against a sibling or a fictional teenage version of you, and loss. MIT's research on sibling dynamics politely confirms that comparison statements are remembered word for word years later, while supportive ones fade fast. That asymmetry alone should terrify you a little. The fix is responding to their experience as its own complete thing, with zero reference to anyone else's timeline. That sounds tough, doesn't need a comparison attached to be valid. Number 6. The apology deficit. You snap at them after a long day, and an hour later, you act like it never happened. No apology, just a return to normal tone, and an expectation they'll match it. You assume kids move on fast and forget fast. Psychology Today's coverage of repair in parent-child relationships found that unrepaired moments accumulate into a quiet ledger teens keep without telling you. Each unaddressed snap teaches them that bringing things up isn't worth the energy, which is the exact skill they'll need someday to end up with you. The fix is a 5-second sentence. I was short with you earlier. That wasn't about you. I'm sorry. That's the whole repair. It costs you nothing, and it tells them conflict doesn't end relationships in this house, which is the single belief most likely to keep them coming back to you with the hard stuff later. Number 7. The door that only opens one way. You expect them to knock before entering your room, and you walk into theirs without a second thought. This is the one most parents miss completely. You'd never accept someone walking into your space while you're mid-thought, mid-call, mid-anything. But you do it to them daily and call it parenting. Harvard's research on adolescent autonomy found that physical privacy violations predict emotional withholding more strongly than almost any other single factor measured. The body learns the lesson before the brain even names it. The fix is knocking. Every time, no exceptions. Even when you're sure they're not doing anything, that door becomes a small daily vote on whether their space, and eventually their inner life, belongs to them or to you. Number 8. The mood audit. The second they walk in looking anything less than thrilled, you ask what's wrong. Then ask again when they say nothing. Then ask a third time with a slightly hurt tone. You think persistence shows you care. Your kid feels cornered into performing okayness just to make the questions stop. Stanford's adolescent development research found that repeated mood inquiries increase masking behavior, where teens fake calm specifically to end the interrogation faster. The fix is one offer, stated once. I'm here if you want to talk. And then actual silence, not silence with your eyebrows still raised expectantly. Most teens will eventually walk back toward an open door they weren't pushed through. Number 9. The real reason they stop showing up. Add up the achievement audits, the phone raids, the friend interrogations, the comparisons, the missing apologies, and what you get isn't a rebellious teenager. You get a kid who ran the numbers and decided home isn't the safest place to bring the messy parts of being human. Every closed door downstairs started as a small moment upstairs where honesty got punished instead of welcomed. These mistakes come from love wearing a panicked costume, trying to protect a kid you're terrified of losing. The relationship you want at 25, the one where they call just to talk, gets built right now, in these unglamorous 5-second moments nobody else is watching. Be the place that's low stakes and always open, not the place that requires an appointment and a good mood to enter. The adult who calls their parents just to talk had a parent who made that feel safe at 14. Start with one chapter tonight. The door's worth more than you think.